opportunity by my teachers, my parents, and everyone else to deliver a speech for this high school graduation. I only found out that I would be the one giving the speech 2 days ago, but it's okay. I didn't use any prompts to generate the speech, so I mean everything I'm saying right now. Okay, so I'm glad we can gather together at this moment as we're given the chance to reflect on our journey and be proud of how far we've come, from students who've spent most of their lives in school to those who've just joined the community. There's a lot I want to say, but I couldn't possibly fit all that in the next few minutes, so I want to look back on some of my memorable moments as someone who's been in Cikal since 2nd grade. I remember walking into Cikal on my first day of school, going up the slope at the entrance and seeing students run around barefoot. When I entered my classroom, I saw a group of friends tossing around someone's wallet. I wasn't used to seeing any of that in my previous school, so I didn't know how to react, so I hid behind a desk and until someone approached me, who later became my first friend. For the first 2 to 3 weeks, I always went to the UKS because I got nauseous from staying at school for so long. In my previous school, I only learned for like 3 hours, and suddenly I had to do double the amount of time every day. But within time, I became familiar with my new environment to the point my memory of my previous school was just a thing of the past. Fast forward to middle school, the pandemic happened. And without me realizing, I spent 2 years learning from home. It was a drastic change, and I bet it hit many of us hard too. I had to get used to a new way of learning, and keeping in touch with the others just wasn't the same. I was confirmed positive of COVID days before my middle school graduation, so I could only join through Zoom despite me taking part in most of the preparation just days before. But despite all the uncertainty at the time, this isolation gave me a chance to reflect on myself, specifically about my self-esteem, because at the time I didn't feel really good about myself. I was quite insecure. So from there, I started my self-love journey, and I feel much better about myself compared to years ago. Now I can look back at my past self and appreciate her for all her strengths and flaws. Now, high school years were the shortest years of my life so far, which didn't feel like that at first. If you think I wasn't nervous because I'm one of the OG Cikal students, you're wrong. I was sick to my stomach just worrying about who I'll be friends with, because it felt like my social circle had been shuffled all over again. To the point that some days, especially in the beginning, I'd cry from how anxious I was. But just like my 2nd grade self, somehow I managed to find my people. And in less than a year, I nearly forgot about what I was so worried about. So other than my friends, I had many experiences in these last 3 years that I'll forever treasure in my heart. Like my visual art exhibition, where in the process I got to sharpen my technical, creative, and empathetic skills, which played a huge role in helping me get accepted into my dream university. And my CAS project, Project Continue, where me and 7 of my friends planned, reached out to other parties and created a fundraiser all to teach children at an orphanage. Every time I think I couldn't get any wiser, I proved myself wrong. I learned the importance of being your own friend. As in, we should tell ourselves kind things, just like how we'd want to lift up those we love. If we can forgive and move on after hardships between another person, then I think we can do the same for ourselves. Because the only company that will never leave us alone is ourselves. Another thing is, it's an advantage if you're able to see every experience as something to gain from, whether that be it was pleasant or uncomfortable. It's easy to have regrets because we think we didn't get anything good out of a situation. But maybe that itself can be a lesson for us. Those uncomfortable experiences do give us something after all. Because if we want to expand our comfort zone, we need to get out of it first. Lastly, whatever challenge or problem you're facing now, it probably won't matter in a year, or even in a few months, because you'll figure it out eventually, so don't stress about it too much, and trust yourself, because you'll have plenty of other things to worry about too. All of these are easier said than done. Do I still feel inferior at times? Yes, I do. Do I still feel like some days just couldn't get any worse? Definitely. Even I still find these hard to do. But if you're willing to invest in these skills, I promise your view of life is going to change. Everything I said just now is only my part of the story, and I think it's wonderful how each of us got to experience high school in a different way. So thanks for letting me up, and here's to us, class of 2025.